Oh, one person. Hello. Whoever that one person is. Do. I realise it's quite early in the morning in the UK, so not sure how many people will turn up to this. Hello, Dawson. Nice to see you. Yeah, this was a little bit of an unplanned video, but I thought as it's New Year's Eve, I would do one last stream before the year is out. There we go. There's a few more people. So, hey guys, welcome to this live stream. Uh, Bit of an impromptu one. I just thought it would be good to do one little last Q&A before the year is out. I haven't had time to do one before Christmas. And also a look back on 2024 and some of the, well, really bad things in 2024 for me. It's not been a very good year for me. So I'm really glad that this year is going to finally do one very soon. Um, So, to cut a long story short, before I get to the Q&A, I just want to go over 2024. So, this year has been awful for me. A very bad year. You will notice that I was kind of absent from YouTube for the majority of it until sort of about summertime, I think. And the reason for that was because I started 2024 in a very bad job situation. So, my previous job um, my manager had left the job before Christmas 2023, and we had no manager in our shop. And I was left to basically pick up the slack along with a couple of others. And it was stressful. And it got to the point where I decided to leave the job because I thought I'm not doing rotas. I didn't sign up for that. So I'd stayed another month, sort of another month and a half after she left. And then I transferred to another store. And during this time, I was also trying to do my degree. I was doing a film degree, and that took priority. So that's why I said bye bye to the bad job situation. And then I transferred to another store, and it was okay for the time being. The hours were very early, but I could sort of cope with it. And then about I think end of March, early April, my father got diagnosed with cancer, which is why I said in some of my videos about the extremely personal circumstances being very difficult. And for most of the year, I had very bad mental health. I did not know what the hell was going to happen. We had to do so much chasing to actually get anywhere before we even heard anything about treatment. So, as you can imagine, that was an incredibly emotional thing to deal with. So, I didn't feel like I was coping very well. On top of that, doing a degree and finishing that was so stressful. It all sort of came to a head really in summer, like July. I actually quit my job because the hours were so early as well, which probably affected my sleep and my mental health. And I couldn't focus on my dissertation. I really couldn't. I won't go on too long because I know you want to get to the Q&A. But so yeah, after that, I was depressed. I had to go to the doctors and get some tablets because it was just really difficult. And then eventually we did find out what was going to happen, and there was a treatment plan for my dad. In short, he had to go through a month of radiotherapy, but that's all done now. So as the year has gone on, that has managed to sort of sort itself out. He's done his treatment now, and we're waiting to hear the sort of results of that. And so, all being well, we were told the cancer was curable. So that was the main thing. It wasn't life threatening. Otherwise, I probably would have been in a worse state of mind. And I did get another job back in August. So for a month, I was out of work, and then I got a job in August, and I've now been promoted in that job. So I'm now in a new shop. I've just become a supervisor, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, and I finished my degree back in August, so I graduate at the end of next month, which is really exciting. So it has sort of turned around, and I'm also doing some more amateur shows, so that is something that I'm excited about. But yeah, this year has been one of the worst so far. I mean, I've had a couple of good things, of course. I've seen, with my friends, I've had some memories. I've been filming my new film, Financial Temptation. I've been seeing loads of movies, which is great. Done some more shows, even though I was not in the best state of mind at the time. And I'm doing a pantomime at the moment, which is being performed in about a month, or less than a month actually, well, about 2 weeks, even less than that actually. But I've been rehearsing it since the last few months, so that has made me very happy. So I have turned around in a few aspects. So I really just want 2025 to be slightly better. I know it's going to get off to a good start with the show. That's going to be good. Um, Job wise, I'm still looking for things within the industry I've studied. I studied film, so yeah, good luck with that one. But I am back to this channel, and I'm going to continue this channel. That's one thing I want to do. I do regret leaving the channel, but my state of mind was just so overwhelmed that I felt like I couldn't keep up with this, and I didn't have time for this. But I was wrong because I did initially go to another channel, but I've come back. So everything happens for a reason. Sometimes life just really tests you to the point where you're going to break, and that's the sad reality. But no, we had a good Christmas. I think my dad was quite happy at Christmas. Um, he's been through a lot this year, um, and he is still going through some side effects, but that's to be expected. I mean, if this means that what the treatment has helped him, then all for the better. But anyway, enough about that. And also, this evening, I'm going to go and see Better Man with my friends in the cinema. So expect a review of that to come. And then I'll do my ranking of the top 10, sorry, top 5 best and worst of 2024. But anyway, the Q&A. So let's get to the Q&A. I have not yet seen Doctor Who Joy to the World. I will watch it. I might try and watch it today if I can. I've heard it's okay. Many people have just said it's all right. But, yes, Happy New Year, Frozen Wish Studios. And it was nice to meet you this year. Wish it was under better circumstances, but yeah, we won't talk about that. So yeah, feel free to ask me some more questions. This is the last time this year that you'll get to do that. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing this early in the morning in the UK is just because I've got plans this evening with my friends. So, and annoyingly, I can't really stay up for the countdown tonight. I have to work tomorrow morning very early. So, but it is what it is. Um, I'm mainly mornings in my job, so that's fine. Ugh. What's everyone else doing for New Year's Eve? I'd love to know. Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Obviously, I don't know what you've been dealing with, but you've heard, if you've been watching from the beginning, you've heard roughly what I've been dealing with. It's not been easy. Still, though, there was one highlight of the year which I didn't mention. I was dating someone for a bit, which was nice. Um, I met someone on a dating app, and we went on a couple of dates. Although she didn't want to go any further, it was still nice to experience that. Oh, that's a good question, Jared. Oh dear. Is Fred the guy with the really high pitched voice? If that's the case, I can't stand that guy. I find him so annoying. Um, well, if I had the choice, neither. But if I had a gun to my head, um, I might have to say the Fred videos because Alex's videos are probably more nauseating because of those fucking trolls and his yeah, the way he responds to criticism is ridiculous, and his laziness. I mean, Alex's videos are shorter, but they're lazier. So yeah, no. Yeah, I won't dwell on this, but I did see Alex post his top what, 10 or something best videos of not best videos, best films of the year. Yeah, interesting list. Can't say I'd agree with that, but I'm not going to attack you for it, Alex. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of nice to see Peter Kay back. I don't get why the character was in the film, really. Like, why was his retirement so important? But it was nice to see him back and hear his voice again. He did make me laugh a couple of times. I don't think the new Wallace and Gromit is as good as the other ones, but actually, I did do a review of it. I do need to upload that when I can. Oh, nowadays my life is so busy; it's hard to do this channel. So videos just come as and when, I'm afraid. But that's just if you want me here, then that's my schedule. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Just need to get tissue. Um, he could reprise his role as the Absorbaloff, but I don't think people would be interested. Put it that way. As far as I know, he's a very unpopular villain in Doctor Who. I think he's okay, but he's just very goofy. I don't like the way he is this massive blob with faces all over him, and he just wears these speedo trunks. He does look kind of ridiculous, but Peter Kay did the best he could with the script. Oh, excuse me. Just think of the Doctor. How will he taste? All that knowledge, all that experience. I'm sorry, I'm not going to answer that question because I've got videos coming about my favorite and least favorite movies of 2024. So wait for the video. You'll see. Well, you see my top 5 best and worst. I find it hard to put 10 into a list. I don't know if I can see enough films to do that. So yeah, it will be coming soon. Promise. Ugh. Normally, there's floods of questions. Don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy. I'm an open book. Ask me whatever you want. At this rate, it won't be a terribly long Q&A. God, a lot of questions about Alex. I don't really know. I might have to say Alex on this one. I might have to say I'd watch Trolls Band Together fan because the annoying orange is well, clue is in the name. He is annoying. Even though Alex is shoving trolls in your face, at least the content is short. That's what I'll say. The years of the decade so far. Oh, that's a good question. That's a unique question. Everybody asks me questions about films. That's a good one. So 2020, that includes 2020 as well, doesn't it? Well, at the bottom would probably have to be 2024 because of my dad's illness. Then I'd say 2020 because the pandemic started. Then 2021, even though we did get No Time to Die, I still think it was a bad year because the restrictions were all over the place with COVID. Then 2022 and then 2023 actually has been my favorite year of this decade so far because one of my best friends got married and I was the best man at the wedding. I started to turn my mental health around a bit and I was going on a weight loss journey. And I was doing well with shows and uni. It seems like things were going in a better direction. Although this year, went completely the opposite way. But there we are. So we're nearly halfway in now. We're in 2025 soon. So let's make it a good one. Yeah. Well, I've always thought Donald Trump was a bit of a tangerine. 2025, we are going to build a wall. It's going to be great. Mexicans are gonna pay for it, and they will call me the Tangerine. Yeah, 2023 seems to be a good year for most people. Yeah. And I'm hoping 2025 we get a Bond announcement. It's been a while now since No Time to Die, so I would love to hear who's going to take on the role next. Although looks like Barbara is kind of fighting with Amazon at the moment, so I don't know how true that is, but that's what the articles are saying. So we'll take it with a pinch of salt until it's confirmed in the main news. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Bob. Ugh. Oh yes, Josh O'Connor. I did hear about that. I would be down for that. I've only seen the guy in one film. I saw him in Challengers. He was pretty good in that. He's obviously got the physique to be Bond. I think he's in his 30s. I'm not entirely sure. Um, whether he can nail the sort of the darker side of it, I don't know. Because for me, in order to be Bond, I think you'd have to sort of nail various aspects of the character. You'd have to be smooth with the women. You'd have to be sort of dark and intense when needs be. That's why I think Craig is the best for me because he blends all of those together. He can be very serious and stoic at times, but then he can be quite dry and charming as well, and sort of seductive with the women. But the other ones do obviously have their perks, of course. You know, they've all got their good points in their own way, even to a lesser extent, Lazenby. But yeah, I think they definitely want to cast someone who's in their 30s. That's for sure. If they want to have a prolonged set of films, that would be good. But I would be down for Josh O'Connor. I've actually more recently come to the idea of Aaron Taylor Johnson, even though it's a shit film, Craven. Looking at the guy's physique, I thought, actually, you know what? He could be James Bond. I mean, plus he'd want to recover his career after Craven. Although I don't know if the producers would want to choose someone who's been in a flop. Plus, Aaron Taylor Johnson is in a lot of things. He's very established. I don't know if they'll want to go for someone slightly more unknown. But Josh O'Connor is known, maybe not as much as Aaron Taylor Johnson. So yeah, I'd say it's worth a shot. I'd say it's worth a shot. Yeah, Craig is going to be the best. Whoever comes after Craig, it's a tough act to follow. Let's put it that way. And Craig's era was so sort of crafted as one continuity. Maybe not when it started out, but sort of as it's gone on, they have thought we're going to tie all of these together, and certainly the way Craig's era ended was crafted that way for a purpose. And like I said, I was a bit dubious about the idea of them like killing James Bond, but in order to fully reboot the series again, I think you know what, if they were ever going to do it, now's probably a time to be brave and actually do it. And I came around to the idea. It worked. I don't think they should do it again, but for Craig, it worked because I think looking back on it, he retired so many times in his era, so it's good. I think this might have been the only ending that would have been possible actually. Um, Although it would have been nice to see him live with his daughter happily ever after, but James Bond doesn't get a happy ending because of the life he leads, but still. And then you can watch his 5 films as one sort of distinct continuity, which is nice. So yeah. Yeah, the iCarly episode with Fred, probably one of my least favorites. Um, I'm sorry, I just find the Fred character so annoying. The actor, I mean, credit to him. Obviously, he's very talented. He, you know, is doing well in the part, but I just, I know it's aimed for younger kids anyway, but I just find it annoying. I used to really like iCarly as a show. I watched it a lot when I was a kid. There are some really good episodes, but that one is one I never go back to. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's weird because currently Bond 26 is saying on IMDb, um, 2026. So that makes me think, is it actually in development, or is they just put it on IMDb just for the sake of putting something on there? Because they don't normally put things on IMDb unless it is official, and we haven't had an announcement of the new Bond. So my thinking is maybe Barbara and Amazon are already working on it, but they're not telling anyone in order to avoid tabloid shit. So, because normally they do this big announcement as to what the title is and who the new Bond is and the cast of the film, a brief synopsis of the plot. I mean, the most sort of accurate one was when Spectre was announced and they revealed the title, the director, etc., all on one live event in 10 minutes, which was really good. No Time to Die's one was a bit different because I think they were struggling and they hadn't worked everything out yet. But they did this Jamaica vlog, which was kind of crap to be honest, and they didn't have a title at that time. Then they revealed the title on social media just with this one video when it was announced. But I mean, we didn't care; we were just happy there was a title. So, but I would have thought Amazon and Eon would want to make a big thing about it. But I would hope they're going to confirm the new Bond in the new year. If the 2026 year of release is a definite, then I would say we'll probably hear something in the new year, and they'll start filming this year. I hope so, because again, it's been ages since No Time to Die. So by the time we get Bond 26, it'll be like a 5 year gap, close to probably close to what it was between Spectre and No Time to Die. Let's hope it doesn't become the longest gap between films, but we'll see. But then No Time to Die would have released in 2020 had the pandemic not got in the way. Ugh. Yeah, like again, there are pictures of Josh O'Connor in his tuxedo. So he would look the part, I think. But in Challengers, I quite liked him. Obviously, he's not playing a James Bond character in that, but he's the guy's fit as a fiddle. So I think he could cope if he was to do a lot of the physical stuff himself. You want someone who's a bit younger than Craig. This, I think Craig left at the right time. He would have been a bit too old to sort of carry on, and I think he was struggling with the physical side as it got to the end. So his approach was so intense to throw himself into it that no wonder he was going to injure himself. It happens, but it obviously got harder as it went on because of his age. But yeah, no, Josh O'Connor, I think, is a potential candidate. I think between him and Aaron Taylor Johnson, they're the ones I would kind of want, or Richard Madden. Those are the three. Like when people ask me who do I want as the new Bond, I've never been entirely sure, but looking at it now, yeah, either Aaron Taylor Johnson, Josh O'Connor, or Richard Madden at a push. But yeah, unless there's anyone else who's sort of unknown that comes along that we don't know about, who knows? They could do a complete 180 and go down a young Bond route, or if they're going to tell the origins again, they can have a young Bond in flashbacks. Who knows? Because I imagine they're going to ignore the whole Skyfall origins, as it's not the same continuity as Craig. So it's going to be a completely new reinvention, which is going to be nice and exciting. Yeah, I mean there were great aspects to each year. Well, 2020 would be probably the exception. And actually, no, I did do one or two shows in 2020 before the pandemic started, but then the rest of the year was crap. Um, uh, yeah, 2023 was definitely the best, I would say. Also pretty good for films as well, for the most part. Oh well, I was saying that we did get Indiana Jones 5. But yeah, let's hope 2025 is the best one of this decade yet. I mean, obviously, everybody has a different experience per year, but I hope on the general basis, everybody has a better year in 2025 than 2024 and any other years. Yes, Jared, you could say yes. I probably did relate to Freddie. Yeah, no, he's not American, and that's the thing. They won't cast an American unless the American can do an amazing English accent. Then they probably won't cast. They'd want to cast a Brit, although they have cast other people that aren't necessarily Brits. Like Brosnan was Irish, and George Lazenby was Australian. Although the casting of that was a fucking barrel of laughs, wasn't it? But yeah, I think they're going to primarily look at British actors, but we'll see. Well, when Craig was cast, he was basically the only one they wanted. So it's really up to them. I don't think Amazon will have much of a say in the casting. Like Barbara and Michael still have the creative control, um, but Amazon will probably just help more on the financial side and distribution. I mean, they've invested in it, so obviously they'll have a say. But it's at the end of the day, the agreement was, I believe, that Eon still had the creative control over James Bond. So yeah, there we are. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Jared. Actually, I'm not against an American being cast as Bond. I would just want the actor to do a really good accent. Otherwise, it doesn't sound very good. Otherwise, it's not going to be very natural. So, out of all the months in 2024, which stood out for you the most? Oh God. Oh dear. Well, there was May. That was a decent month because I did a show, but there haven't been any standout months really because most of the year's been terrible. I would say probably more recently, probably November, maybe, um, because I met somebody and went on a couple of dates, which is nice. But aside from that, none have really stood out. Oh, good for you, Frozen Wish. I'm glad you had a good January. Yeah, actually, January 24 wasn't too bad. Aside from the job situation, I was doing a show and I had some holiday from my job, which was good. So I had some time off, so I could enjoy my show, which was good. But yeah, I had a lot of stress already, and then no need if I'd known a couple of months later what was coming, I don't know what I would have done. But it is what it is. Life sometimes throws you lemons, and sometimes it doesn't. James Bond, James Bond. Never say never again. Never say never again. Bow, 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 bow. Oh, New York. I've been to New York. Yeah, really good place to go. Although I went in February when it was freezing cold. Um, it was great. I actually got to go to the I think is it the ABC or NBC studios where they filmed Saturday Night Live. That was really cool. I did that actually going up to about 10, well, no, 9, 10 years ago when I was at my previous college. That was fun. That was really fun. Yeah, I'd go there again. Got to go to the Rockefeller Tower as well. Statue of Liberty. Yeah, I like America. I've been a couple of times. And that was any Americans in the audience. Yeah, I've uh, I've been to New York. I loved it. It was really good. Yes, I would agree, Jared. That was one of the worst things. I mean, I don't want to dwell too much on Alex because if he watches this, then you know we'll never hear the end of it. But yeah, that video was honestly one of the most insulting, horrible things I've ever seen in my life, and it made me despise Alex as a person. I just don't know how anyone can be so cruel and so heartless, and Alex should be arrested for that. You know, he really should. Why is he allowed back on YouTube? There should be something in the YouTube algorithm where they do a facial scan where if your face has appeared on camera before and you've been banned, the facial recognition should not allow you back on. I was talking about this with some friends the other day, and we agreed because why is he back on? He's back on, and who knows? He's going to do his usual shit. I mean, for now, it looks as though he's back and his content is just sort of existing, which is fine. But I'm watching him. I'm watching him because I don't trust him, and knowing how many people he has hurt, he shouldn't be on YouTube. And when he tries to go after me, it's actually kind of pathetic. And I just think to myself, well, dude, you haven't got any allies. You haven't got any allies. I've got quite a lot of friends on here, and I know right from wrong. I'm not a perfect person, but unlike you, Alex, I know a lot of right from wrong. And Harry is a much more sincere. Say what you will about Harry's opinions, fair enough. Agree to disagree, whatever. He's a very sincere bloke. There's not many like Harry. I have no thoughts about his nickname. It's just stupid, really. It's him trying to get a cheap laugh, and it doesn't work. It's like when he called Skyfall Skyfuck or something like that. It's stupid. Which DC movie do you think is worse, The Flash or Joker 2? Oh, that's a good question. I would say The Flash, actually. That one annoyed me a lot more. But I gave Joker 2 like a slightly higher rating. They're both bad, but Joker 2 was probably slightly less infuriating because I'd rather watch Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga than Ezra Miller. So there we are. Although don't know if Ezra Miller's ever going to continue acting. We'll see. Yeah, everybody has their own controversial opinions, but it's how you respond to someone's opinion that counts. It's, I don't know how many more times I can say this. Alex, if you have an opinion that's different to someone else, agree to disagree and move on. It's really not difficult, bloke. It's really not difficult, man. He loves the drama. He loves the attention, and he'll do anything to create a drama. He just likes to. He gets joy out of hurting people. It's just ridiculous, and he posts these stupid rant videos on people for no reason. I mean, it's so childish. It's so childish. I don't know what's wrong with him. Yeah, he probably will. Yeah, and he'll probably do a massive long 20-minute rant on it. Although his current videos are very short, so I don't know. But it's like when he posted about the Wild Robot. He was like, "Oh, honestly, it's all right. The animation was great. I didn't like the ending." And then apparently on his Letterbox or DeviantArt, he wrote a long review saying he hated it. So he changes his mind like the clappers. But whatever. Yeah, but I'm sure there's people that don't like my channel either, Frozen Mush Studios, but I don't care. I'm just doing what I'm doing. My opinion is this is online, this is YouTube. So if anyone doesn't like something, if they shouldn't project so much hate on something, they should just either agree to disagree, say what they've got to say, but then just move on, or just walk away entirely. If you haven't got anything constructive to say, then don't say anything. Alex doesn't understand that. Yeah, he might get terminated again if he, because seeing some of his, I mean, I don't have a DeviantArt account, but people have shown me some of the stuff he's posted. And Jared, you told me about something that he posted in Discord, so I that's why I think we should watch him, because he could potentially be very dangerous, very harmful, especially to some females. But anyway, let's not talk about Alex. There's more important things to talk about than that man child. Oh, goodness me. Ugh, I'm not coming down with a cold. I really can't afford to get a cold right now. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Doctor Who, there's such a broad canvas of stories and actors that have played the role. So, yeah, I mean, I actually am a Doctor Who fan. I like Doctor Who. Not as much as I used to, but I still like it. But if anyone disagrees with me, I'm not going to fly off the handle. I know people that would. So, yeah, everything, life is subjective. That's what I've learned. Life is totally subjective. Oh, so sorry. Just give me 1 second. Ugh, blocked nose. The Black Critic guy. I think I've seen one or two of his videos. He's quite good. but I don't watch him regularly. I must be honest. Jay Vaters, is he a movie reviewer? I think I've seen one or two of his reviews. He's quite. It seems like quite an all right guy. But it's been a while since I've watched his videos, so I can't really remember, to be honest. That's fair enough, Dean. That's fine. Not everybody did. I did grow up with Doctor Who, but the 2005 era, like the Russell T Davies, the first Russell T Davies era, the state of the show now, not as into it, but whatever. It's it is what it is. There's always a twist at the end. Any more, my friends? Do I prefer James Bond or Doctor Who? I would say as I've got older, I do prefer James Bond, but I do like Doctor Who. I think there's such a rich history of stories, and there's such a variety of content that even if Doctor Who were to cancel now and not continue, we'd still have plenty to look back on and be happy about. But James Bond, I got into it more after I saw Skyfall the first time, and as I got towards adulthood, I sort of thought, oh wow, this is really cool. Like I'd seen a few of the Bond movies when I was younger, but I didn't have an appreciation for them when I was a kid. In some ways, they're not all really made for kids. Not all of them, anyway. But yeah, I just love the whole Bond series, the whole vibe of like the sort of the glamour of it, the class of it, the sort of escapist fantasy of it. Some are more outlandish than others, but it's fine. It is what it is, and some are darker than others. But there's such a wide variety of films that it's very hard to sort of deny that there's very good things in there, and that's why it is my favorite film series of all time. There's so much, and it's an evolution of film. Like you see like a journey of also society within film and culture within film. Like you look back at those Connery films, and I mean, you thought Bond was misogynistic in Craig's era. Well, he was even more so in Fleming's books and in Sean Connery's films. But obviously, the films, in order to make him likable, you have to kind of water it down a bit and write it in a way where it's sort of tasteful. Although there are aspects of like Goldfinger where he's when he slaps the woman's ass and he goes, "Come on, it's man talk," and all of that. So you have to roll your eyes at some of that, but yeah, it's a product of its time. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is each Bond era is a product of its time. That they're just when everyone thinks of James Bond, they usually think of the one-liners, but now it's a variety of things. So some people will think of the cheesy one-liners. Other people will think Daniel Craig and the sort of gritty, darker side. Some people will even think Dalton. So everybody has now got more of a preference rather than a generalization, which I think is brilliant. So when this new guy comes along, we'll see where it goes because it could be a mixture of some of that old cheesy stuff and maybe some of what Craig did. So I think there'll be sort of a middle ground, a sort of a balance, because I felt like as Craig's movies went on, when you get to No Time to Die, it feels like it's getting more to like the older films, a bit more fantastical and a bit more not outlandish, but slightly more humorous. Not to the extent of Moonraker, of course, but you get the feeling with Skyfall that it was trying to reinitiate some of the feeling of old Bond, and it was all kind of a journey to that point. And Spectre and No Time to Die feel like almost bigger classic Bond movies in a lot of ways, with some emotional drama, of course. But that's just my opinion. Uh, Toy Story holds up after 30 years. Yes, I do think it holds up. I don't think we need a fifth one, but oh well, it's been greenlit now. They got away with the fourth one. I was very surprised how good that was. I really enjoyed the fourth one. The first film, though, is actually very disturbing. It's the second half of it is when you get to Sid's house. It's it's quite freaky. after all this time, but I still enjoy it. Yeah, you're right, Frozen Wish. Yeah, exactly. Alex doesn't know the meaning of the word criticism. Yeah, he doesn't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you justify your reasons, then we can respect. If you're just angrily ranting and insulting without justification, why attack someone like that? There's no need for it. Hello. Well, I've been doing streams for a good while now. It's just that I took a break from YouTube and I came back, so I've just been busy. That's all. Ice Age 6, who gives a fuck? Scary Movie 6. Not really seen the other ones, so I've got no opinion on that, but hopefully they're good. We'll see. But after the last few Ice Age films, I'm not very optimistic about Ice Age 6. Mm. Yeah, like some of these terms in this I don't know if it's the Me Too movement or whatever, but some of the things in today's society are, I mean, okay, I get why they're there, but it can be petty sometimes. Like if they're not forced down my throat, I can agree with it, and I can be like, okay, fine, I respect where you're coming from, but let me have my opinion. I just think there's a lot of bashing, unnecessary bashing. If someone disagrees with something and they go, "Oh, you're woke, you're anti-male, you're this, you're that," it's like not necessarily. No, no, I just have a different opinion. Uh, so sometimes that can get frustrating, but I respect that the world is trying to be a little bit more inclusive, but there are ways and means. Uh, yes, I do have DVDs and Blu-rays. Um, Monster House 2006. Yes, I have seen that film. It's not bad. I might review it one day. From my memory, I quite enjoyed it as a kid, but watching it again as an adult, um, it's a little bit slow, I think, in the beginning. But when they get inside the house, it's pretty cool. It's a simple story. It's a fun concept. I actually remember the game more than the movie, which is weird. I had the PS2 game when I was a kid, um, and it was actually quite fun. Uh, there's some movies that we don't agree on, like Sonic 2. Yes, I don't agree with a lot of people on Sonic 2. I know I posted a rant on it, but I think I did try to say in that video that if people like it, that's fine. That's their opinion, but I don't really understand it. I personally think Sonic 2 is the worst of the trilogy. But the third one is a massive improvement. It's not great, but it's a massive improvement. I've reviewed all the Sonic films if you want to hear my extended thoughts on that. But yeah, it's like I said, generally speaking, if anyone does disagree with me, I'm not going to attack you for it, as long as you don't attack me. But most people are very polite in my comment section, so I have to be thankful to you guys for that. Oh, Happy New Year, bro. Have you seen the Macro Terror? If you're talking about the animation, I don't think so. No, I've only ever seen the reconstruction. I do need to see the animation. Have you seen these following movies? Piece by Piece, Drive, and Baby Driver. No, I haven't seen them yet. I'm so sorry. I've heard Baby Driver is really good. I'd love to see it. It's Edgar Wright, isn't it? I think. Yeah, I did. Edgar Wright's one film with Edgar Wright's that I did really like was Last Night in Soho. I'm not sure if I've actually reviewed it to be honest, but I really enjoyed that film. Oh right, you saw it this year. I thought because No Way Home was released in 2021. So did you go to like a re-release screening? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, but when I first saw it, everybody cheered as well. At my then local cinema, which is now shut down. Um, I remember going to watch it with a big group of friends, and yeah, as soon as Andrew came on, there was a round of applause, like "woo!" And then Toby got a massive cheer. It's a real crowd pleaser, that film. It's a real crowd pleaser, but it's actually a really good film. It has a lot of emotion. It has a lot of heart. It has a real structure to it, more so than the first two, I think. It had what the first two lacked, which was a real big emotional punch. Not that the first two didn't have heart, but I just thought that the first two felt more like high school comedies rather than bigger scale Spider-Man films. which is, to each their own, of course. But I really sort of grew to appreciate Tom Holland a lot more in his third one, and I think he's doing another one. So yeah, I mean, I think the guy's going to be around for a while. So good for him. Yeah, Ice Age 6. I couldn't give two shits, to be honest, about that. Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a chance, but it's likely I probably won't enjoy it. Um, I didn't really. I mean, Mr. Bean was obviously in my life, but it's funny you should ask that, Brian, because I have seen Lord of the Rings in the cinema. I think I did watch. I think it was Return of the King. I went to watch in IMAX, the theatrical version. But I've actually been lucky enough to see the extended versions quite a few times in the cinema since they re-released them. They re-released them, I think, earlier this year, um, and then a couple of years ago, and then during lockdown, when very few cinemas were open, they were showing loads of old films. And as soon as Lord of the Rings came up, I took my chance and I went. Every time I see Lord of the Rings showing come up, I travel to wherever it is and I try to go if I can make it work with the timings. Sometimes they only show the theatrical versions, but most times, I'm surprisingly, they do show the extended versions. And actually, the extended versions, they don't have a break in between it. They just show the whole thing. So you're there for 4.5 hours watching it, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it. It's honestly so good. I mean, those films, I can only imagine the feeling of seeing them in the cinema when they first released. I was too young to see them when they first released, so it was a dream come true for me. I did see the Hobbit trilogy when they came out, which was really good. But the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I mean, yeah, I mean they're my favorite films of all time. So of course I'm going to go and see them in the cinema. It's worth it. It's worth sitting there for that long to watch them because they deserve to be long. But Return of the King is my favorite one. It's my favorite film of all time. So that one is the one I've probably seen the most in the cinema. But boy, is it spectacular! It's just, yeah. Thinking about it now, it's just those are some happy memories. Yeah, seeing them again earlier this year was such a treat as well. You just want to stand up and cheer because they're that good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that child actor. That's a real shame to hear that. Favorite Primeval episode of all time? Oh, good question. I'm gonna say it's a joint one. I think the series two finale, episodes 6 and 7. Um, I kind of see it as a two-part finale anyway. Just because it really raised the stakes, ended on an emotional note with Stephen. All those creatures, it just felt more epic. It felt more sensational, and the mammoth on the M25 as well was also pretty epic. Um, so yeah, I got a lot of love for that one. Oh, Ray Romano's back. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Louis said that he wasn't. Louis. I'm only joking. I mean, I don't care either way, really. I'll give it a chance, but not gonna go out of my way to seek it out. But we'll see. Did I watch Wallace and Gromit? Yes, I have a review coming soon. In short, it was all right. Yeah, it was entertaining, but not as good as the other ones. Yeah, yeah, I've seen them a few times over the course of a few years, though. So just whenever they've re-released them, I've travelled to other cinemas to go and see them. That's how much I love them. Yeah, uh, I would have loved to see Lord of the Rings trilogy. Yeah, yeah, they are honestly they are made for the big screen. Especially Return of the King. You see why they won the Oscars. Certainly the third one, The Return of the King. You see why it got the 11 Oscars. It's honestly astounding. I mean, again, for 2003, it's amazing how good it's held up. Cat in the Hat was a disaster for kids' films. Yeah, yeah, Cat in the Hat was bad, very very bad. Missed the point of the novel completely. Oh, I thought you said they weren't. Oh, sorry. I have got bad eyes. Yeah, I've seen the trailer for the Minecraft film, the one with Jack Black. It looks kind of meh. I mean, I'm not really a Minecraft person, so I don't know if it's at all accurate to how the game is, or if they've just invented this story for the film. But yeah, Jack Black. Okay, fair enough. But to be honest, I don't really care. I'll probably go and see it, but I'm not really care. Fair enough. I mean, there are parts of Cat in the Hat I laugh at, but for the wrong reasons. it's, I still think, like, objectively, it's a very bad film. Although I will give it this: the sets and the production design are amazing, and it's directed by a production designer, so you can tell they captured a very good world of Dr. Seuss, but it's the script and the storytelling which I find ridiculous personally. But if you love it, good for you. Forrest Gump, I have seen it, but a long time ago. Couldn't tell you much about it. I'd have to rewatch it and review it for you. But yeah, it's a very good one. Return of the King. You better believe it, bro. You're fired. Duh. Yeah, I mean, there are some okay funny moments, but there are some stupid moments. Certainly the Alec Baldwin character, the part where he's like rips his like stomach open or something. Oh god, it's so cringy when it's revealed that he's actually not this hotshot businessman. He's actually this fat slob who just lazes around all day, and then yeah, god, very weird. Very. I think yes, I think I did notice that. Yeah, I'm happy for you to follow me on Instagram. Yeah, Shrek 5, I just feel like Shrek was kind of done with the fourth one. It was a good full stop. I think 5 is one too many, but I'll give it a chance. I will review it, of course, because I reviewed the other ones, but I don't have many anticipations for it. It could be really good, but in order for it to be really good, it's got to be on the level of the first two, whereas the last two weren't really that good, in my opinion. 3 was bad. 4 was just kind of passable. Like, it was all right, but it could have been a better ending, I thought. If they're making this to be a better ending, then okay, I'll give it a chance. But the fourth one was a very final full stop. This I almost feel like perhaps a reboot would have been better in this occasion. Yeah, I'll probably go up to 1 hour and then I will have to get ready. So a few more minutes. Hulu in the UK, to be honest, I don't know. I think so, but don't quote me on it. Since Mike Myers is working on Shrek 5, he could reprise the Cat in the Hat. I don't think a lot of people would care, but yeah, maybe. I mean, he's getting on a bit now. It's what over 20 years since he did that film, so he's probably a bit too old to to go back to it. Um, but yeah, I think it's unlikely. But for a joke, potentially, if he did it as a parody, maybe. Oh, I didn't realize they were reanimating the Cat in the Hat. Bill Hader voicing the Cat in the Hat. Hmm, interesting. That would be interesting. Mm, Shrek 5 is being made since the made an appearance in the DreamWorks logo. When Shrek 5 gets released. You mean Shrek needs to leave the DreamWorks opening logo? Sorry, I don't really follow. Flow. I've not seen that. I'll have to look. I'll have to check on that. Sorry, just give me 1 second to work. I have to. Sorry about that, guys. I've just been I've been promoted to a supervisor, so I've there's a lot more demand now on me, so I have to be very responsive. Uh, yeah, the Mike Myers version basically has a lot of his comedy in it, but there are, for me, in that film, there are some downright offensive scenes. Um, but there are some cool visual things in it. And the makeup for the cat, I'll give it this. The suit looks cool, but I just personally didn't jam to the film. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Illumination. I don't rate them, to be honest. I've not seen the Lorax. Could be their best one. The Grinch film they did was all right. That might be one of their best ones. But every other Illumination film, I'm like, I don't really care for it. Um, the first Despicable Me actually is probably the best. But yeah, they need to up their game if they want to be like on par with Pixar and DreamWorks. They got to up their game. That's my opinion. 2012 was one of the best years for movies. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, that could be true. Ooh. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Ugh. 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 It's a few more minutes, and then I'll probably head. Ugh. Has anyone seen the film Better Man yet? Because I'm going to go and see it tonight. It's the one where Robbie Williams is played by an ape. There was a critic that described it as Rocket Man meets Planet of the Apes. And it's so strange, very strange. But there we are. I just saw the trailer and I was like, I don't know if I can, like, what the hell? Like, it's just such a bizarre concept. How did they pitch that film? How the hell did Robbie Williams pitch that film? It's just going to be very distracting to watch, but I shall give it a chance. It might be good. Yeah, the Minions have had their day. They really have. Skyfall, Django Unchained, Wreck-It Ralph. Yes, yeah, we got some very good ones. Yeah, Rise of the Guardians. No, annoyingly, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard very good things about it. So I will have to watch it at some point. Haven't seen Better Man. I'm interested in it. Nice. Let me know what you think when you see it. I shall review it when I see it. Uh, well, you'll see the review next year at this point. Do you prefer Robbie Williams or Robin Williams? Very good question. I would say Robin Williams. He's just, yeah, he brought a lot more joy to my life. I like Robbie Williams as a singer. He's done a little bit of acting, but not as much. And I think the guy is interesting, but Robin Williams is more of a sort of national, sort of international treasure to my heart. Really, he played so many more roles that meant more to me. It's nothing against Robbie Williams, but that's just how I see. Yes, he was Dougal. Oh, that's the character's name. Yeah, I thought he voiced a dog from somewhere. I remember seeing the Magic Roundabout when I was young. My mum took me and my sister to see it when we were kids. Oh, that was a good film. That was a good film. I'll have to review that one day. Tom Baker was in it. Doctor Who fans, Tom Baker was in that as one of I think, the villain. Uh, so yeah, that would be kind of interesting to see again. Minions, Fred or the Annoying Orange. Oh God. I mean, collectively, you could say all of them. What do you think? But which do you think is the most annoying? Um, I mean, the minions are annoying, but they're not as in your face as the others. I'm gonna say probably Fred because he screams more. Uh, yeah. The fact is, Illumination probably wouldn't still be here without the minions. So yeah, that's their big USP, to put it bluntly. Right. I think I'm going to call it there, guys. It's New Year's Eve. Got some stuff to do. But thank you very much all for watching and listening. Thank you for the questions. And I wish you all a very happy new year. I hope 2025 brings you all the best things. And stay tuned for my reviews of Better Man and my rankings of, well, I've got to do my top 5 worst of 2023, as well as top 5 best and worst of 2024. So stay tuned for those. And then I'll be back in January when I can to review some more films. So yeah, until then, take care. I'm Pejak's Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.